Urgent PSG reinforcement. Vinicius put up for transfer. Messi's incredible return to Europe, short-term contract, and Ronaldo's biggest disappointment. All of this and more in today's episode. The tension in the Real Madrid locker room is growing. Xabi Alonso's decisions regarding the substitutions of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Vinicius Jr. caused misunderstanding among the players, and Vinicius' own behavior became a trigger for radical changes. After the 0-1 loss to Liverpool in the Champions League, the footballers did not hide their surprise. Trent, who could have strengthened the attacking phase, appeared on the field only in the 81st minute. Even earlier, similar questions arose after El Clasico, where Alonso substituted Vinicius at a key moment, and he reacted demonstratively. According to El Chiringuito, some players believe that Alonso does not understand the atmosphere in the team and acts too harshly. The club is convinced that the leak about dissatisfaction comes from Vinicius, and this was the last straw for President Florentino Perez. He has already decided to put the Brazilian up for transfer in the summer. Although this has not yet been publicly announced, PSG is considered the most realistic contender for Vinicius. The Parisians have long been following the player, and the transfer seems logical not only from a stylistic point of view, but also as a symbolic response to the story with Mbappé. He moved to Real Madrid and displaced Vinicius, and now Vinicius himself can move to PSG and take his place. The Brazilian's agents are already exploring options, and although there is interest from the APL and Serie A, PSG seems the most ready for a quick deal both financially and in terms of his role in the team. This transfer could significantly affect the status of Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, who only recently joined PSG and has already established himself on the left flank. If Vinicius moves, there will be a conflict of zones. Both players are most effective on the left. In such a case, Kvaratskhelia will be forced either to adapt to a new role or to agree to rotation. It is not excluded that if his status decreases, Khvicha will consider a transfer option, especially if PSG receives a lucrative offer from the APL or Serie A. Paris Saint-Germain intends to strengthen its squad in winter in 3 positions at once. The club is looking for a versatile defender, an experienced midfielder, and a winger capable of playing on both flanks. These are the areas that Luis Enrique decided not to touch in the summer, betting on the youth academy. But recent matches revealed structural problems, and the coach agreed to targeted reinforcements. According to Upamecano, one of the main candidates for defense is Erik Garcia from Barcelona. He can cover the center and the right flank, and his contract expires in the summer of 2026, making the transfer affordable. Cristiano Ronaldo frankly spoke about his attitude towards fame. When asked if he had ever been to places where no one recognized him, Ronaldo replied, "20 years ago? Yes. But not now, not anymore." And he added that he doesn't like it. "It's boring, believe me. It's too much. I wouldn't want to be that famous." His reaction to a hypothetical offer to achieve success without fame was the most striking. "Oh, I would agree. Of course, 100%. I didn't want to be famous at all. I wanted to achieve success." According to Ronaldo, he knew from the beginning that he would become a star, but he did not expect how all-encompassing his popularity would be. These words contrast with Ronaldo's image as one of the most famous athletes on the planet, with hundreds of millions of followers on social networks, advertising contracts, and global recognition. His confession adds a human dimension to a career that is often perceived only through the prism of trophies and records. Lamine Yamal unexpectedly addressed the topic of comparisons with Lionel Messi. The young Barcelona winger made it clear that he does not want to be associated with the club legend. "I cannot compare myself to Messi. He has scored 1,000 such goals. I have to go my own way," Yamal said. This is not the first time the 18-year-old talent has distanced himself from the pressure of succession. Despite similarities in style, technique, dribbling, left-footedness, Yamal insists that he wants to build his own history in football. In addition, he commented on being booed by the stands. "Being booed. I think if you're being booed, it's not for nothing. If they boo me, it means they know I'm doing my job well on the field. It doesn't bother me. There was a lot of talk about my groin injury. It upset me. All of it was lies. I'm trying to get back to work. Playing at this level, I feel better," Yamal said. According to Photomac, Turkish Galatasaray is seriously interested in the transfer of 38-year-old Lionel Messi, who may temporarily leave Inter Miami after the MLS playoffs end in December. Galatasaray is offering the Argentine a 4-month contract until March, when the new season in the USA begins. This will allow Messi to maintain his playing rhythm at a top level, and once again enter the European arena before the final chord of his career, the 2026 World Cup. The idea of such a transfer does not seem fantastic. Galatasaray has already surprised the football world with the transfers of Victor Osimhen, Leroy Sané, and İlkay Gündoğan. And the club itself has ambitions in the Champions League after 4 group stage matches. The team has 9 points and has real chances of reaching the playoffs. For Messi, this could be a symbolic farewell tour of Europe, not as part of a long-term contract, but as a short, emotional comeback. The Turkish Championship, despite its lower level, offers high media coverage, fan loyalty, and participation in the Champions League, which makes Galatasaray an attractive platform for such an episode. The club is already preparing a marketing campaign around a possible transfer, and negotiations with Messi's representatives are being conducted taking into account his MLS schedule. If the deal happens, it will be one of the loudest winter transfers in the history of Turkish football. Ibrahima Konaté still wants to move to Real Madrid, but the club no longer considers him a priority transfer target. Instead, the Madrid side has shifted its focus to Dayot Upamecano, who is considered a more suitable option to strengthen the defense. Upamecano has consistent experience at Bayern and the French national team, and his contract allows for negotiations as early as winter. As for Guéhi, Real Madrid has officially withdrawn from the race for the Crystal Palace defender due to excessive financial demands both in terms of salary and signing bonuses. The club recognizes that Liverpool and Bayern have a better chance of transferring the Englishman, so the search for alternatives continues. All these decisions are part of Real Madrid's updated strategy for the summer of 2026, where the emphasis is on players with flexible contracts and lower financial risks. Barcelona's debt has reached €1.45 billion, the largest debt in the history of professional football. According to The Athletic, the club has gone from €300 million in the 2015-16 season to a record €555.4 million in losses in 2021 over the past decade. It was then that Barca lost Messi, and the financial crisis became public. Despite this, the club is not cutting expenses, as most would in a similar situation. On the contrary, Barcelona continues to look for new sources of income, including through the sale of media rights, assets, and commercial agreements. The source notes that the club is demonstrating phenomenal growth in the commercial sphere, which allows it to remain competitive in the transfer market, even with record debt. Barca's financial model remains risky, but at the same time unique. The club balances between aggressive expansion and chronic debt, which can have both breakthrough and catastrophic consequences. Manchester City will play against Liverpool in the English Premier League, and this match will be the 1000th in Pep Guardiola's coaching career. The Spanish coach of City shared his emotions and memories of the path that began with Barcelona B in 2007. Reaching 1,000 matches in a coaching career is very special. When I started working with Barcelona B, I didn't think at all that I would reach 1,000 matches. You just want to do your job well, play football correctly, and see what comes of it. I've been lucky in my career to work at 3 incredible clubs. At Barcelona, Bayern, and Manchester City, I received full support. I am very, very proud of my career. Guardiola also thanked everyone he worked with for 18 years, and separately his family, who supported him at all stages. The match against Liverpool promises to be not only important in terms of the tournament, but also symbolic as a summary of the era of one of the most successful coaches of our time. According to Fabrizio Romano, Ajax has approached Ten Hag after the official dismissal of Heitinga, who failed at the start of the season, only 1 win in the last 7 matches, and a disastrous Champions League campaign. Ten Hag has already met with the club's technical director, Alex Kroos, but has not yet agreed to return. This is not the only offer he has received recently. Earlier, Ten Hag was in talks with Wolverhampton, but the parties did not progress beyond initial contacts. His brief and unsuccessful spell at Bayer Dismissal, after 2 matches in the Bundesliga, left open the question of the next step in his career. A return to Ajax seems logical. It was there that he gained the most recognition, leading the team to the Champions League semi-finals and creating one of the brightest teams in Europe in the late 2010s. However, sources in the Netherlands note that a return is not inevitable. The club understands that repeating past success will be difficult, and Ten Hag himself is weighing whether it is worth returning to a familiar environment after unsuccessful stints at Man United and Bayer. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action, and have a wonderful day.